Hey everybody, it's Neil Walters of neilsvideos.com, and I want to give a little introduction to this video. A few weeks ago, as you see pointing to there on the screen, I did a video called The Phases of Townstar, where I kind of went through the whole game from like day one to the end. And then this week I had to restart my town, so I'm going to be playing it and recording pieces of it as I go, and I will actually show you like what phase 2 is, what phase 3 is, actually playing it out. And it's not just a sped up video, but it's like I come in when I do important things and I tell you about it. I talk about it. I just give you my thoughts. So it's obviously compressed, not like the full day of play. Okay. And that's what this video is going to be phase 2. This video is going to be phase 2 right here. Sell something of value without running out of gas. And then phase 3 will be to create your own gas to stay alive. And then we'll go through each phase, hopefully. And I spent about almost 12 hours yesterday on phases 1 through 5. And that was from noon to midnight. Okay, and again, it wasn't all consistent time. We'll talk about that in the video. So now I'm going to switch over to video I recorded yesterday, and then we're going to go through phase 2. I'm basically splitting up a long video into separate videos, one for each phase. So this will be like part 1 of, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 videos. Okay. The play to earn servers on Townstar got reset, so I had to start all over with a new town this week, actually today. And I didn't do my rewards last night. I don't know exactly when it reset, but I need to earn my rewards for the day. And I was actually going to try to do this without NFTs, but then I realized just to be safe, let me show you something. I wasn't sure that the NFTs have to be placed at the moment you receive your 1,000 points, or only at the moment you click the get my collect rewards button that will appear after I get 1,000 points. So I maybe will ask that in the Discord and see if I can get an answer. So what I did, let me show you the start. This is the first time I remember actually seeing a storehouse here, so I think that's a new thing they've done, at least this week. They just give you a storehouse for free. And so that means when you start doing like your animal products, they go in the storehouse, things like milk and wool. My idea of the quick start was to do the following. Again, I'm just trying things. I don't know. I put 5 peppermint fields over here. Now, originally they give you 2 wheat fields, and then I moved one of them where there was going to be more water, but then I forgot about the shade of that. So I basically sold wheat about 3 times because I really got low on cash after I built all these peppermint fields. And what else did I build? I think I built a logger house and a builder house. That was about it. And actually, I did try to record all that, but it glitched and the recording didn't work. So I have to start from this point on my recording. I did build this road over here too, since these crops are over by the river. This is the first time I got a river in a long time. And so on the play to earn servers, when they reset, there's more likelihood you can get the property or the type of land you want. So again, I chose the forest. I still haven't done the desert yet. I'm going to have to do that soon. So the peppermints, by the way, let me show you, they take like 3.5 minutes, even when they're green, to grow. Now they are getting all their water from the river. I think so. I guess they only need 3 waters. And so if you click one of these, you have to wait till they harvest. You'll see it has 3 out of 3 water, like that one, 3 out of 3 water. So it's getting all that water from the river. Nobody has to bring the water over to it, which saves your workers time. But they do have to carry 1 wood. And so see, the farmer's bringing the wood, and that's why I had to build a logger house. So he would chop the trees, put the wood in the woodshed, so the farmers can take the wood over here to the peppermints. And so now my theory, my theory is I'm going to let this run on auto sell for about an hour while I go do some other things, exercise during my lunch hour and stuff. And each one of these will bring in about $8,000 per sale of 10 items. So if it takes, let's just say it takes 4 minutes to build each one, 60 divided by 4 is, I don't know, Matt, it's 15. I just did it in my head. I was going to go to the calculator just to be sure. But anyway, so that's 15 times per hour that each one of these guys will make a crop. And, maybe another half a minute for the guy to carry it over here. So 15 times for each one of these times 5. That means I should have 75 crops of peppermint within 1 hour. And of course, we only sell 10 at a time. So every time there's 10 of them in here, the auto sell script will come and take over and run over here. And of course, I do have a separate video on the auto sell script. If you don't know how to use that. And by the way, here it is. Let me just show you. That video will show you how to install it. But sometimes you have to tune it. So here I leave my peppermint set to keep 0. And that means every time I get 10 of them, they'll automatically sell. I turn my wheat basically off by setting it to 20. That means until I have 20 wheat, or actually until I have 30 wheat, don't sell it because it'll always try to keep 20. And that way I didn't waste my time at the beginning of the game selling wheat because wheat is a cheaper product. Wheat sells for about 3,000. I believe the peppermints are about 8,000. And wheat will grow super fast though, but then you're going to use up all your gas over here. You have 40 gas to start with. And basically one of the main goals of the beginner game, or when you're starting out like this, is to build a refinery to make more gas before you run out of money. So my theory was, I'm not in a hurry. If I was in a competition, I would probably do this totally differently. If I was really trying to get the top, 1 or top 400, whatever it is. But I'm just interested in earning my daily rewards and making my life easy. So I'm going to go exercise and do some things. And when I come back, I should have, like I said, these 75 peppermints here. And that should be 7 sales of about 8,000 each. So I'm guessing about $56,000 in the next hour. And then I'll be able to build some more things over here. Now, actually, as soon as this sells, as soon as I get one more peppermint, I'm going to go ahead and build a chicken coop here. At first, I was actually going to try not to destroy my ponds. Actually, a while ago, the part of the video that was messed up, basically, I sold, I think, 4 ponds. And 4 ponds, it's 5,000 each, so that brought in $20,000. And I figured I would build a chicken coop here. And actually, before I build that, I need to have what? I need to have a feed trough, at least one. Okay, so the chicken coop was built. And I don't know if I may have been messed up when I was recording and when I was pausing. So I did build a chicken coop, a trowel, and a feed mill. Sorry if I repeated that. And then I needed, of course, a rancher house over here. So a while ago, I did the math of how many minutes I have remaining. And I'm going to record that here just in case that wasn't on the video. So 32.15 is how much dollars I have up here divided by how much my workers are costing per minute at this moment. And that gives me 22, almost 23 minutes before my town would collapse and I basically would die, so to speak, okay? So I have 23 minutes to make at least one sale to get more money in my in-game money up here. And I've already done the computations that I will be getting a sale of like 10 peppermints about roughly every 10 minutes, okay? So we're good to go. I can leave the computer now for 30, 40 minutes to an hour and everything will be good. Actually, I could leave it for 3 or 4 hours and it would just keep selling peppermint. But eventually, when I have the peppermint money, I want to build a milk barn, right? So I want to keep improving my town as I go. And so I'll be back when some of those things happen. Actually just making this video, I think took 45 minutes out of my lunch hour. So I'm not going to be able to do the exercise that I wanted to do. I have to wait till 5. One more thing to show you, since this is kind of an introductory video. This is a starter town. If you click on your truck here, I need to add my Express Depot as well. I forgot that. If you click the sell button, you can see what each crop is worth. Of course, there's websites that will tell you that too. If you just Google Town Star and like wheat, you'll get 2 or 3 websites that'll tell you. But see here, click wheat, and it says it sells for $3,400, and peppermint sells for $8,000. So that's double the price, more than double the price. And again, you'll be using less gasoline by doing that. And then eggs sell for double that, $16,500. So you can see that the farm crops sell for a lot more. I think milk sells for $30,000, if I remember. And so you definitely want to get to the milk and the eggs as soon as possible when you're starting a town, at least in my opinion. You want to get to eggs, and then one of the other animals like sheep pens, which make wool. I think wool's $30,000 to sell. And then barns, I think they cost $50,000, but then they make milk, which sells for $40,000, if I remember. I just noticed that sometimes my crops are waiting on wood. So it looks like one logger is not enough. So I'd like, and also you see my woodshed has only wood in it. You just put it in it now. So ideally we would have a little buffer space there with at least 2 or 3 or 5 wood ready to go when we need it. So I'm going to build another logger. Logger house needs to be by a road, and I'm running out of room, and well, I'm not out of room yet in this area. So let's just stick it right there. This may be an area we have to remodel later. Okay, so I built the other logger house here, and now I'm just looking around to see if there's any other issues. First of all, do I need any more farm stuff? Like, in other words, the chicken coop is making its eggs. A minute ago, there were like 5 feeds in this food trough, and the feeds are coming from here. So, I mean, I could build another feed mill, but so far, until I build more animals, I think 1 rancher and 1 feed mill is good enough. Now my woodshed is slowly, with my 2 loggers, going to have a little more wood in it. See, like right now, 2 guys are, well, see, they're not taking the wood to the woodshed because there's somebody that needs the wood. So your loggers will carry the wood to where needed if possible. And then if nobody needs it, then they'll put it in the woodshed. Let's just watch where they're going real quick here. The chicken coop is what needed it. And this is one of the things in the game that we're hoping they improve, is that lots of times the workers will all go toward the same goal. So see, both these loggers got a wood and they both walked over here to the chicken coop, which is just wasteful. And in real life, you know, that's probably not going to happen. So we're all hoping they will improve the logic in these characters so that they will do their work more efficiently. And that makes it easier for us if they would do that. Here goes the auto cell. Peppermint again on the way. See, after just a few minutes, I already have 7 going on 8 eggs. So just another few minutes, I'll have a sale of 10 eggs, which will bring me some good money. Let's see again how much eggs are. I should have that memorized by now, but I don't. Eggs are 16,500. If I didn't have this NFT here, you'd want to make sure the animals were closer to a pond. I think the cows require 3. Sheep pens, I think, actually require 4 or 5 water. But the chicken coop only seems to need 1. And the river, the way it counts, I believe is... Okay, I just looked it up just to be sure. It's actually 5 all the way down to 1. So this would get 5 water. This would get 5 water, 4 watt. Let's go this way. Start with this one. That's 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. That's pretty good. That's a lot of water. So you almost don't need very few ponds or these NFTs in except for trees. Tree farms require 7 water. So like right here, let's just go over the math here. This guy is getting 3 from this pond, 3 from this pond, okay, 3 from each pond, and then 1 from this marsh, and then actually 1 from this marsh too. And then actually he's even getting, I think, 2 diagonally from this pond. So this is why I put the trees here, because they need 7 water, and they're getting it what they call passively by surrounding properties giving them the water. Over here, see, this peppermint is getting 3 out of 3 water. So I could have put the peppermint as far away as this row right here, and they would have got enough water from the river, even though they're 3 away, which is pretty cool. So by having the river here, I'm going to need less ponds as the game goes by, and also I have my water NFTs as well. So I probably will need very few ponds, and by having less ponds in the game, that's going to give me more squares or tiles of the city. You have a 16 by 16 square here. More of those tiles or squares will be available to actually build production facilities then, because I'm not going to need the water. And that will actually change my game quite a bit, I believe. And sometimes you just have to experiment. So for example, over here, let me plant a tree farm, which I know is 7 waters required. And that's interesting. So the reason I did that was, like I said, it gives you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But if this was a pond over here, it would give water diagonally to the guys next to it. But they kind of put in a catch, though. The most water you can get anywhere on this row then from the river is 5. So for those trees to grow, I would have to have a pond or an NFT or some other water source next to them so they could get 2 more units of water. So like I said, that was just a test. It cost me just a small amount of money to actually build the tree farm, and now I'm just going to destroy it. Yeah, I could leave it there. What I have is this Mr. Puddles over here, and he will deliver water, but I don't want my farmers wasting time with it. That's the problem. Let's see, there comes Mr. Puddles there with a bucket of water. So it's a very inefficient place to have it right now. If I put it here, how much water would I get? I would get, I think, 2 from this diagonally, 1 from there, 1 from there. That's 4. And then probably 1 from here since that's 2 away. That's about 5 water I would get there. Is there another place to put a tree? Like right here, I would get 3 from him, 1 from him, 1 from him, 1 from him, and 1 from him. So I think that's 6 or 7. Count it again in a minute. Let me just put a tree farm there real quick. See, he gets 6 out of 7. So here's the count again. Okay, he gets probably 1 from here. That's 1. 1 from here makes 2. 1 from here makes 3. 1 from here makes 4. And 2 from here. Well, 3 from here. 4 plus 3. No, wait, hang on. I lost count. Let's do it the other way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought that might do it. What am I counting wrong here? Okay, my bad. Pond is only 2. So I should have known that. Again, I get confused sometimes when I start using my NFTs, I think, are 3 or 4. The pond is 2. Then we get 1 from here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's why we're just 1 short right there. That's one reason, by the way, when I selectively deleted my ponds, I tried to leave a spot like that that would be more watered than the others. Like right here, I think there was a pond there before. Let's put a tree here too, and we'll just do the count again. Enough money to play with $500 tree farms right now. Same thing, 6 out of 7. So I think again we're getting 2 from this pond. And since this pond is on a diagonal, oh, see, that's a rock there. I thought that was maybe a marsh. Okay. Ponds give 2 even on the diagonal. So there's 2 plus 2 is 4, and then 5 and 6. It's really important that you know how to count your waters. So you want to put your trees where you're going to get as much water as possible because they need 7. And so right now, the only close place I had that was here, which again we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect for that one. Here we don't have anything that would quite make a 7. And the other place I haven't tried is right here. That one might work. So here, look, we're going to have 2 and 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if my eyes were trained a little sharper, I would have seen that right away. And that's where I should have put my tree farm. This is what you just learn by experience, by playing over and over again, especially the beginner game. Sometimes you get used to playing the advanced part of the game and you don't really care. You just say, oh, I'll add another pond. You pay $20,000 for a pond. But of course, at this part of the game, you don't have $20,000 to just build a pond wherever you want. Boom, that one's working perfectly. So I'm going to delete these 2. You get a little bit of your money back. You pay $500 for it, and when you move it, you get $125 back. And again, since this is sort of a beginner tutorial, why do we build tree farms? Because I'm starting in the forest biome here, and the forest automatically comes with all these trees. The logger will chop down the trees, and then it will leave a stump there. And if you click on the stump, you'll see how long it takes before it turns to another tree. This one right now is at 2 minutes. You see, this one is at like almost, it was probably close to an hour before. Now it's down to 50 minutes. This one's 26 minutes. This one is only 3 minutes. But it has to do with how long ago we chopped it down. So see, it's been growing for quite a while. Plus, probably by the fact that it's next to a water, it probably goes faster than this one that is getting shaded by the buildings and all that kind of stuff. So when you build a tree farm, they grow how fast? The way to find out is wait till he chops down this tree farm here. It shows like 9 little trees there, but it's really only counts as one log, one tree, one piece of wood. Now you click on it, it tells you it's like 20 seconds. So it's much better to grow your trees or your wood in 20 seconds than it is whatever, 5, 10, 20 minutes it takes for these trees, okay? So eventually he will cut down all these ones that have the bushy green on top, and then you're going to run out of wood. At that point, you have to have a tree farm. I was just putting the tree farms here to really just show you the counts of the water, basically. Basically, right now, I'm saving up enough money to buy a milk barn. Right now, I have 35,000, and I think I need 50,000 for a milk barn. So if I click here, see the milk barn is 50 grand. The other thing a lot of people use is the sheep pens, which is only 40. And look at the wood requirements. The milk barn requires 5 wood, and the sheep pen requires 3 wood. But I think the sheep need more water, if I remember. I noticed something else for the first time today. Over here, this is your rewards box. Basically tells you how many hours, minutes you have left to earn your rewards. And I just noticed that they actually put like this little yellow circle around there, kind of indicating what percentage done you are. So see, I'm a little over halfway there, and I haven't done much. I mean, it's taken some time, obviously, but I haven't done that much. And once I start selling some milk and some more eggs and stuff, that will easily get to 1,000. I didn't notice this little yellow circle around there showing me my percent complete until today. Now, one thing about the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, is that you can move them. So you can click here, return. There's no monetary cost to that at all. You return it. And then just as a what if scenario, I'm going to put it, for example, maybe right here. And then we're going to do a what if scenario. Just a second. The wrong button. Put it back on. You click this again. So I'm going to use this tool again that I have called Snagit. And I'm going to take a screenshot here of my town. And I'm going to do a little design work. You know, I think the video I posted yesterday is on how to use another design tool, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to try to do it a faster way using just Snagit here. And also another hint when you're beginning, to keep the game running, what you can do is like if you want to open another window on your computer, you have to leave just a small corner of the screen available. And so I actually have 2 monitors. So I've rolled part of my screen off to the other monitor. So now if I open a browser or do something else in this window, I've always got a piece of that browser window open. And that way it'll always stay running, and I'll keep earning my income here from the trees and the peppermints and the eggs and all that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, I have enough to make a barn now. Okay, let's do that real quick. Before we do we need to do the planning first. I'll show you why. Okay, so this is the Snagit tool, and it's good for drawing some things, and I guess not for others. It's definitely not Adobe or something like that. Like it'd be kind of cool if I could take a picture of a road and copy it over and over, but I think that would be kind of weird or difficult. So what I'm going to do is show you where I'm going to probably build my roads. So we see a road here. I would normally extend it to here, then I would build a road here, and then probably here, which is the second square over there. That's usually a pretty good thing to do. But now that I have a river over here, I don't want to lose that good water. So I'm probably going to have all crops over here. So I don't want my road in like one of the good spots there for the water. So remember, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So actually, this may be the best place for my next road. Okay. This is what I talk about designing. Lots of the past games I've done, I haven't really had a good plan. Okay. In several of the videos I've done, I've been talking about how to do your planning. And right now, this is what comes to my mind. So let's say I do want a road over here. So the red is just my roads, okay? Let's just see how this works out. We have a road here. We'll take this one. I can grab it and extend it over here. Everything in this range will be the watering range. And 5, 4, 3. So I'm thinking about where I want to put my barn when I build it. I don't want to build it now and then have to move it later because that's $50,000, which at this point in the game is just too much to worry about. Once you have $1 million over there, which does happen after a few days, then you can kind of do what you want. What I discovered in that other video is working in like little 3x4 squares is kind of good. So like, let's say we do 1, 2, 3. Let's do the refinery. Where are we going to put our refinery? We don't want it near the crops or the animals. So maybe this corner here would be good. Probably have our houses along this road here, along the side, and they need a road. So right here is probably where we're gonna build our refinery complex. So the 3x4 works out pretty good there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I would build a road here. Wow, this is more planning than I've ever done before. Sorry to jump back and forth between two topics, but basically I just did a dumb thing a while ago when I was talking about my NFTs not working. The things that I was talking about have to be next to a road. So for example, I could add the express depot. I could either destroy this and put it here. I don't think I've ever really needed two trucks. Sometimes it's kind of nice, I guess, toward the end of the game. But by the end of the game, I'll have more money. So I'm going to remove that truck. By the way, just see how since however many minutes have passed, 30, 40 minutes, I now have $80,000 over here. But I want to plan out my city before I do that. So I guess I need to know my road structure too before I even put that water tower where I think I want it. So I'm going to go back to my design and I'll show you in a few minutes what I've designed. Actually, here's a sneak preview. So I've got my refinery part figured out over here. And now I'm going to figure out where I want to put that water tower and what I want to build around it next. Okay, so here's what I just did. I did a kind of a copy and paste of this water tower and put it here for my second NFT. And the reason I couldn't place that NFT before is I wasn't next to a road, which I should have remembered that. So actually, again, sorry to keep jumping back and forth. I got rid of that dumb road there, and here I got rid of the depot, but I forgot. My brain's going too many different ways. I forgot to put my express depot on there. You click the blue box here. Now I click the express depot. See, now the place button was there and everything. Okay, so now things can sell again. I just didn't want the selling to stop while I'm doing this design over here. So see, like right there, there's 10 peppermints. You couldn't sell them before because there was really no truck, right? Maybe just to get it kicked off now, I'll do a manual sell. Oh no, there, the auto sell is kicking in now. I guess it just took it a minute to detect the truck was there. Now back to my design. And I have to move this off screen a little bit just so it keeps running while I do my design on the full screen here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the new tower here, the other tower, and then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 milk barns around it. And I've done something like that in similar games. And to me, that literally is a cash cow. I don't know why it says barn L, but anyway, milk barn. And 5 of those there, each is going to make whatever it is, $40,000 every time we have a milk sale. And so that should generate a lot of cash to be able to get me to building my refinery over here. So this is my refinery layout. Let me just zoom in on that. We talked a lot about this in my prior video where I talked about, or maybe not the prior video. I don't always put my videos up in order. Over here, I probably will build the first refinery. Can't remember if it gets water from a pond or not. We need a water facility first. So I'm going to build it next to this pond. And then eventually this pond and the water facility will go away and I'll build a road there. So that's like the later phase is to build the road, at least that part of the road. I'll build my warehouse 1 here. That'll be good to start off with. And then later I'll build another warehouse. I need a worker house. And then of course I need some windmills scattered somewhere else on the board. But the goal is to get this refinery working. So to get the refinery working, I need the water facility, the warehouse, the worker house. I need energy and water. Just going through my mind. I think I'm forgetting one of the things you need. But anyway, I also need a paved road. So I have to put a paved road here. I'll have to destroy the marsh. I'll have to destroy this marsh. And to get this all done, I will have to destroy these tree stumps that are in here, these growing trees. That's very expensive, but I think this will set me up better for later in the game to have a more perfectly designed city. And like I said, I've really never ever designed my city this far in advance. Now, what I'm going to do with all this spot, I don't know yet. So I think this design will get me up to the refinery and that'll all be set. And at that point, I'll decide what I'm going to build. If I'm going to build like uniforms, okay, I may substitute here. Instead of milk barns, I might build all sheep pens. Because if you're going to build this is why you need to have everything in your mind before you even go further. Are you building a cakeries? Are you building peppermint factories? Are you building, just sell energy or something like that, or jet fuel or whatever? You need to know what you're going to be building. And uniforms has kind of become the sort of standard game. So maybe I'll still keep doing uniforms. And if I do that, it'll make more sense to do sheep pens all the way around here. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Forget the milk barns, change all those to sheep pens. Then all I'll need is cotton, and I can start making uniforms at that point. So I could build a uniform factory somewhere down here or over here, and we'll just have to design that later. I mean, I could design it now, but I think I'd rather wait and just design that later. So now I know where to put this NFT, and I know it needs to be near a road. See this little guy here, when I just copied and pasted him, I can move him around like that, which is kind of cool. So I'll get rid of that pond, which will make me $20,000 too. And that'll give me some more cash. So I'm going to start implementing this design. So I'll go ahead and do a lot of this on the video. I'll maybe put some markers in here if you want to skip ahead, but it's going to take me a few minutes to do what we just talked about. So also I have 87,000 now, so I can actually progress a little doing a few of these things. Selling the pond will give me 5,000. I'll just talk through it too, because if you're a beginner watching this, you need to know a lot of these things. I'll try to cut those little pop-ups out of here because they're very annoying. There's my water tower. I'll place it. Okay. And now I'm going to have to build my sheep pens. So we're going to get rid of, actually, before I get rid of those, I might as well have a sheep pen and go ahead and start making wool right away. So let's get one in here. Go to ranch. Sheep pen is 40,000. Going to need 3 wood. So if I'm going to go into a big building phase, I might want to have another couple of builder houses here. So let's go ahead and build one of those. The corners are great places I like for the builder houses because builder houses don't need roads. And we might need, we have 2 lumberjacks now. Oh, there goes some eggs. That's nice. Another 16,500 going to come in a minute. See, this is only like a little over an hour later. Maybe, about an hour and 15 minutes later than where I recorded the first part of this video. We're already getting there, right? This guy's waiting on the wood. How much wood do we have in our woodshed? 7 wood. That's good. At some point, I may have to build another woodshed and maybe have another logger. Let's wait and see once we get this first guy down here. And I'm going to go ahead and spend the money no, I have another one right here. Again, I'd rather spend the money on something that's going to make money before I start clearing things that are going to take longer to make money. Ranch house, ranch sheep pen there. And then by the time we do this, we're going to need more ranchers because we're going to be feeding more animals. So I'm going to go ahead and build a ranch house here. See, by letting the auto script run for an hour, this is what you can do, right? You can go away and come back and then start building things out. Rancher house needs 1 wood before it's completed. Which wood do I have now? We still have 7. So while that's waiting now, I'm going to clear the marshes here. It's going to cost me 5,000 each. Now I'm going to leave that water well there. It's probably going to take me a while, of course, to build 5 or 6 sheep pens here. And yes, my workers are moving slowly. It's probably my frames per second. Let me show you, there is a monitor for that, and that's one of my next research projects. I'm going to try to figure out how I can improve my frames per second. The one thing they added down here, I saw in Drax's video recently, is that you can turn off the custom theme, which was the snow. So you still see snow on the outside of my city, but now on the inside of the city, there's no more snow. And that was just kind of annoying, I think. And then here you can turn on this little FPS, frames per second counter. Like I said, that's something I'm going to have to research. But when I'm making the video, it does slow everything down. Plus, I have a mega-sized monitor, and that could be part of it too. My laptop, I believe, is powerful enough to do this. I don't know what video card I have. I'm going to have to check that as well. You know, maybe a gaming PC is what you really need to make this thing run faster. I'm not sure. Okay, so there, look at the requirements. 9 feed, 1 wood, and 5 water. And it's getting 5 out of 5 water just because it's next to my water tower. Yay, so my water tower is kicking out 5 waters. That's pretty incredible. Okay, there's my rancher house. And so now I'm going to have to beef up my feed troughs over here, my feed mills. So notice my feed trough. I always have trouble, trough or trough. Anyway, food trough, I think is the right way to say it. I didn't grow up on a farm, so I don't know these words. Even a native English speaker doesn't always know how to say everything, right? We're going to surround this guy with, oh crap, excuse me. We have to remove a stump here. And if I put one there goes the autocell. That can be annoying when you're building your city, but it's better than remembering to sell things yourself. I have to pay, remember, $15,000 to remove a stump here, and I don't have that much money now. And I probably need to build another food trough or food trough over here as well. And maybe I should have designed this better as well during my design phase, right? I'd like to at least get 3 of them. Let's put one here. I think it'll go 3 or 4 squares away because I have the rare one, which gives you a little more flexibility on where they go. Now, see, those are going to need a wood as well. So that's why I was thinking earlier I might need another logger and another woodshed because I'm starting to use wood a lot more right now. Here's my second sheet pen. Same thing, 9 feed, 1 wood, and ooh, 4 out of 5 water. That was actually surprising to me. So I thought this one was getting 5 water from the tower, but I have to go read again. Maybe the tower's only 4. It's getting 4 from that tower. Maybe it's getting 1 from this tower. Okay. So again, lack of design and lack of preparation. We could move this tower like maybe right here. But then I'm going to lose my money from my chicken coop. But that's actually okay. I don't mind actually destroying my chicken coop right now. As long as I'm not building cakes or butter and things that need eggs. I just needed that to make some quick cash. And now my sheep pens are going to make cash that will basically replace the chicken coop. So I just remembered I have the river over here. So remember it's 543. So the chicken coop is going to be fine there. It's going to only needs 1 water anyway, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let's move this guy like about right here. See, there's a stump. So I don't want to put him there. I don't want to spend $15,000 on the stump at this moment. So I think I'm going to put it here. That would be 4, 3, 2. I think that'll still give it. If it doesn't work, I can move it again. That's again the nice thing about NFTs. Let's see. Oh, see if I got my daily goals now. Yay! See, I earned my 10,040 points. It only took me from the scratch. I started this about noon, so 2.5 hours roughly from total scratch to this point. Okay, so I built a little road here so I could place the NFT next to it. We can just confirm over here once that rancher picks up the egg. You can see if we're getting enough water here. Yes, plenty of water. Remember, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, we're getting all our water from the river there. Did we put our sheep pens by the river too? Yeah, we could have tried to line up our sheep pens over here as well. So, but I have the water tower, so I don't have to worry about it, right? Now, it's hard to tell if that worked. I'm pretty sure it did. But because once they already have 5 waters, it could have been that Mr. Puddles or one of the ranchers brought water to that by now. So I don't know until it actually makes its first wool and then, or its next wool, and then we'll know again whether we're getting all the water we need. Okay, I don't have a lot of money now, but I have enough to build some roads. So I'm going to follow my little diagram and I'm going to just start laying out some of the roads I'm going to need over here, at least to help me remember what the pattern is. Now here's my auto sell script and I had it set for wool to keep 20. And later in the game, that's important because later you're making uniforms and you want your wool to go to your uniforms and then you sell, or actually to go to a fabric plant or factory where you make wool yarn. Okay. And then you can keep or sell your wool yarn or you can use that to make uniforms. So at the beginning of the game, I need to sell my wool to keep making money. So I need to change my auto sell script parameter there to sell all the wool. So I change the keep to 0. I click here, file, save, and then I have to come back over here and hit refresh. Try not to refresh too often because it's slow and sometimes it doesn't work. If it gets stuck at around 50 or 60%, sometimes you have to either refresh it again or you go back to the prior page and then try to load it again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back, which is your your Gala Games page where you pick what game you want to play. It just seems like, I can't prove it, it seems like it loads better sometimes when you go back to here and do it. From here, I'll click play and I'll wait for it to try to load again. If you get to 85, usually it's going to finish, but sometimes it'll stick there as well. Well, notice my frames per second now. That's pretty cool. It's jumping anywhere from 10 to 60. And we'll see how much slower it gets when the game actually loads, which sure changes a lot. If the feed trough is full over here, you'll see the ranchers go to the feed mills and then they'll just go dump it on a road. So right now my feed trough is full, which means I really don't need a second one. But later when I start building more sheep pens, I'll probably need a second feed trough. Over here you can see the little bit of the roads I added. I'm getting low on money again. So again, I'm probably just going to go away and come back in 30 minutes or an hour. And then I'll have more money that I can start spending to start working on either more sheep pens or working slowly on this little industrial area over here. I forgot to check my gas. I guess I've been playing so long, I have pretty much confidence that I don't need to check it every minute. But you can see I have 23 gas right now. So I think I'm in excellent shape to get my refinery done before it gets down to 3 or 4. Maybe even, I might even have it done by the time I'm down to, say, 10. We'll see. Now, what are the sheep doing? If you check your storehouse here, you'll see it has 3 wool and 4 eggs. If you don't have the auto sell script, one of the problems is you could end up with like 11 or 12 eggs in there, and then they're going to throw away your wool. But by having the auto script on, every time we get 10 eggs or 10 wool, boom, it's going to sell immediately. So that way you make sure your storehouse doesn't overfill. And that works fine as long as you only have 2 products. Once you have a third product, I would definitely add another storehouse at that point because you could fill it up with 3 products. You could have like 7 of each, and then it couldn't fill it up and sell any of them. Since eventually I'm going to put a road over here, I need to basically, I'd like to say move this house. You can't move houses. You can move NFTs, but other things you can't move. So I'm probably going to need another farmer house over here. So I'm going to go ahead and build that because that's pretty cheap. When you only have $6,000, you don't want to spend much money, and $1,250 is not that much. How's my wood supply doing? I have 2 wood. Could use a little more there. My sheep pens are going to take 1 wood each. Now these roads over here remind me, without constantly looking back at my design diagram, that this is going to be like the border of this little square. I'm going to have a row of roads eventually around here. So now it just helps me to remember so I don't accidentally put something in the way of a road, such as this house here, which I did earlier in the game before I had a design, right? No, that's actually the original farmer house I think they give you at the very beginning of the game. So now I'm pretty much dangerously low on money. So I'm going to just let the game run while I go do other things. I'm going to show you again what wool sells for. You can either look up on another website or click your truck and click sell the wool. And it sells for $45,500, which I think milk is 50. So wool is pretty darn close to milk, really. And over here, by the way, you'll find the name that you need for your script. So whenever you click on one of these products, this will give you the exact name to put in your script. If it's 2 words separated by a space, you'll put an underscore in the script. Let me just show you, for example, again, here's wool. For example, wool yarn is 2 words. So here you put the underscore in between. Okay. At this point, you have to make a decision whether you want to keep building your sheep pens to get more money faster, or if you want to start on the refinery over here. It really all depends on how much gas you have left. So I have 19 gas. I think I'd rather go ahead and parlay my income here by having at least 1 or 2 more sheep pens. I'll tell you what, I'm going to kind of split it 50-50. I'll build 1 sheep pen, and then what can I do over here? Let me look at my design. My first refinery is going to go here. So eventually I got to pay the $15,000 to remove that. But I can go ahead and start building things like my warehouse over here, and I can start putting the water and the batteries in it, right? So that would be a good thing to do. Because before the refinery starts refining gas, you're going to need water and energy. Again, sometimes that thing just interrupts what you're in the middle of doing here. See, I forgot what I was doing. I want to go to industrial and build. Oh, I got to have a road, don't I? No, I don't have a road. Okay. That's why I put the road there. So I need a warehouse. And I bet that takes a wood, doesn't it? Yeah, 3 wood. Okay. How's my wood doing over here? 4 wood. I think it's also time for another lumberjack. Let's stick 1 right here. I would feel better if I always had 10 wood available. Of course, then the lumberjack will throw away any extra wood he finds. But lumberjack house doesn't need wood because it's like a catch-22. You don't have wood, how can you build a lumberjack house, right? And then somewhere I can do a couple of windmills like out here. They're not going to be there forever, so the placement is not super important. Let's start all the way over here by the edge. They have to be by a road, unfortunately. So this is one of those cases where you have to just build a road for 1 little item or 2. Of course, I'm out there in the trees. You can't put your wind turbines. I always say windmills. Your wind turbines have to be like certain distance apart, or else they're going to interfere with each other and slow each other down. Now I have that road. Now I can come here and build a wind turbine. It's going to need 1 wood. Put the other one. Gotta have that road. This is too close here. Don't want to put anything close. I might need something next to my pond. Probably not, since I have all this water over here. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's actually just sell that pond. It's because I'm next to a river and I have my NFTs that provide water, so that's not that critical. That gives me 20,000 more, no, 5,000 more to spend. So where's a good place here? My wool pen just got ready. I'm going to go put my water. Oh, wait. Let's stop that. Cancel that wind turbine. Cancel. The reason I canceled that, it should be here, because I'm going to build a water facility here, and I just don't want it to be within 3 squares of any other object right now, because that could slow it down. Hit the cancel button before it actually gets built, you get your money back. Of course, if I put any wood in there or whatever, that wood would be lost. Right here, we need a water facility. Remove that swamp. I have enough money. Marsh, I mean, not swamp, marsh. Water facility goes here. Oh, actually, do I have enough money? That's the problem. Oh, I need a road too. Always the roads, right? I think the water facility is 10 or 15,000. So I'm going to remove this pond. No, that pond was going to give me my water. There's going to be a road here. So I guess I'm going to have to put another temporary dummy road here. But later, we're not going to need the water facility once we get our water pumps built. Now I should be able to put a water facility here if I have enough money. It's 10,000. I have 17,000, so that'll give me 7,000 left. I think it's safe enough to do that. At this point, I'm just going to let the game run for another 30 minutes maybe, and I'll come back. Sorry, I'm back sooner than I thought. I got a little more money from an egg sale there. I saw it before I left. So my next little thing I wanted to build over here was a worker house, because once these wind turbines create energy, they're not going to be able to get to the warehouse unless the little man carries them over there. So we need a worker house, and this is where I chose to put it. But guess what? I don't have a road, and getting rid of the road is going to cost me 15,000. So I have enough money to build the worker house. I think it's 10 maybe. But I don't have the money to get rid of the stump and build the worker house. I don't even have enough to get rid of the stump yet. So I could either temporarily put the worker house like here. I think on my long-term plan, looking at it on my other screen here, I don't have anything in that slot yet. So that would be one place I could put it. Let's just look at the price here. Not the builder house, but the worker house. Where? I know, this one down here, the worker house. $2,500. So that's cheap. I forget, houses are a lot cheaper than other industrial buildings. So we get him there, and the reason we want to do that sooner than later is so, again, we get the energy coming from the wind turbines into our little warehouse here. And at this point, you have to very carefully balance your water versus your energy. You're going to want I mean, 50-50 is not bad. You might want a little more energy than water. So this warehouse will only hold 20 items. And so your perfect balance would be about maybe 12 or 13 energy, and then the remainder of water. But the problem with leaving the game and letting it run is one of these things will more than likely fill it up sooner than the other. And then you might end up with like 18 water and only 2 energy, or vice versa, depending on how many wind turbines you have and so on. By the way, the water is going to build pretty fast here because we're next to a pond, which eventually we're going to, like I said, destroy this. But for now, that's the fastest way to get water. I will have to come back every, say, 10 minutes and double check on my warehouse. See, the wind turbines down here have stopped spinning. And so immediately that little worker should come out. We can actually turn his house around where his door is facing this direction. Next time that might save him a few steps. There he goes. I bet he's walking to this wind turbine over here. Sure enough, there he goes. I'll just let you see. He's going to pick up the energy. Again, this is a beginner's video, so hope that's not boring if you've seen this kind of stuff before. If you're more advanced, the best part of this video was the planning diagram I showed earlier. The rest of this is going to be just kind of basic and how my strategies go based on what I've learned. You know, everybody's going to learn their own way playing this game. Of course, if he had roads all the way there, he'd be quicker. So that's why eventually we're going to have square roads around here, because then the little guys will travel faster. But we don't have money yet. Hey, I'm back. Another little while has passed, and I have 60,000 that I can spend. So again, I could build maybe one more sheep pen. Again, my concept is I'm splitting half of my money on building up more income producing items, and then I'll build my power plant, and then I'll build my industrial plant over here, which doesn't make any income, but it keeps you alive. So we need to build a refinery at a minimum, and then we can start making some petroleum and then some gasoline. I'll also need some pumps as well. By adding the pump jacks, they'll start putting crude oil into this fuel tank. Could go ahead and add a few of those. Okay, I'm looking for a place to add them that wasn't on my design diagram. So I see a road here, and I have really no idea what I'm going to build down here yet. But the pump jacks is what I call them, the oil pumps. They're pretty inexpensive. So if I have to build one and then move it later, destroy it later, and then build another one, it's not going to cost me too much. Really. It's only $12.50. That's about the same price as some of the little houses that we put up. It's going to take 3 wood though. We'll put another one here. How's my wood supply doing? I have 5 wood, so that's not bad. And you see they just took out like 3 or 4 wood from there. So I think my 3 loggers is good for now. You can see that more and more of my green trees are being cut down. And so again, that's why we're going to need these tree farms before, well, I already have 2 tree farms, but eventually you'll have more and more tree farms. And then you won't be relying on these naturally growing trees. At this point, I could probably use another rancher because now I have 4 sheep pens and 1 chicken coop. And notice the food trial over here is not staying full. And that's usually because either you don't have enough feed mills or enough wheat, or you don't have enough ranchers. I have enough wheat coming from this thing here. Maybe I need another feed mill before long, but I don't think I do yet. But I think I need another rancher. So where can we put a rancher? Okay, we can spin the screen. You can hold down your right mouse key, and you can look over here and you can see I have a road here, but it's got stumps on the side. And then what about that little space right there? If I look the other way, it's hard on your eyes. It's hard on mine too. Yeah, doggone it. There's a stump there too. I remember this road is going to be a whole series of roads, so we don't want to build the houses on that place. Spin it back here. I like kind of keeping the same orientation. It just helps remember where everything's at. We have a spot here, which might be doable. If the problem is we might want, if we put another feed mill, that might be a place the feed mill would go. If we put a feed mill here, I think I can put one 2 or 3 spaces away from this wheat stand. It's providing all my wheat. So by having that wheat stand, I don't have to have any wheat growing really at all right now. So I don't want to put it there because I think this is going to be a road cuts all the way down here. No, let me see. I gotta look at my design diagram again. Let me bring this back for you. I sometimes push the pause and the record button and I get mixed up. I I basically just built a rancher house right here, and the way I decided that, let me show you my town design diagram again. I have a road that's going down this way, and I don't want to build the house. Oh crap. I said crap again. Now that is where I just built my house. I can still cancel it. Cancel that. That was my goal of actually looking at this diagram, is not to have to rebuild things if I don't have to. So let's look at where I could put it. This area is pretty full already here. Full, or it's got the tree stumps or the rocks. So if I built a road somewhere that I'm going to build a road anyway, like right here, looks like I'm going to build a road right beside this ranch house in the future. So I have a line of roads going that way. And I already have a farmer house there though. Yeah, I should have looked at that before I built that. Well, I think I built that farmer house a long time ago. So I gotta look again. I'm looking for a spot over here, like here, for instance. I could put a road here, and then there's room for a house on both sides of it. The only other place would be, where else can I put a road that, like right here, would be room for a road and a house or 2 there. And anywhere on this line, there would be room for a road and a house on the side of it. I think this is the next best place. So it's right south of that marsh there, pond marsh spot. There's the pond, the marsh, and the spot. So I'm going to put a road there. I'll build the rancher house by that road. And just so I don't forget this is where the road's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and put a road right here. Most of the time when I see like 2 or more roads on a line like that, I'm following my design diagram and I will eventually connect them. That might be hours from now before they actually get connected. But it will help me to remember where to build and not to build things without having to flip back and forth to my design diagram over and over. Let's check my, oh, see my little warehouse over here? I see the red thing above it. It's already full. So that's what I was telling you about. It fills up really, really fast sometimes. And see, I got a little more water than I got energy, but it's roughly 50. It's 50-50. It's actually 55-45. So it's really close, okay? Half and half almost, set by 1. And right now, though, any water that's being created will go nowhere because unless I have another warehouse. So right here, we have a choice. We either, let's see, there's no cost apparently to run the water facility. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it off anyway. It's like, I guess it just seems wasteful, right? And my windmills, I can let them run. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm really tempted to build another warehouse too, but I'd rather get my refinery up and running again before we run out of gasoline. So I still got 16 gas. We're doing fine. I probably could have built the refinery by now if I didn't build these extra sheep pens. Oh, and remember I was going to build a rancher house down here. So sorry, I started talking and I got distracted. Actually, I'll put the ranch house on the inside because remember, we're probably going to have some crops over here by the water. We'll put it on this side of the road. Okay, so the rancher's built. She'll have to cut through all this stuff anytime she goes back to her house to sleep. So she doesn't have a road yet, but there will be a road in the future. And now I hope to see this food trial filled up a little bit faster. The 3 ranchers. And now I need to wait again, say 30-40 minutes till I have more money. And then I can actually probably build my refinery, which I think, again, I might have to remove a marsh or a stump to do that. But we're getting close to it. Oh, let's check on our crude oil here. I already got 1 crude oil in my fuel storage. And so the same worker that picks up your energies over here from your wind turbines, he picks up the crude oil as it's created here. I almost always put my crude oils on the border, but remember I just have a road there. So for now, like I said, it's a cheap place to do it and I can move them later. And there it goes with the crude of oil or barrel of oil right now, crude oil to the fuel storage. Ooh, and I just noticed something. It seems like the auto sell is not working right now. I just kind of randomly checked and see my peppermint. As soon as there's 10, it should have sold those. And my storehouse here is actually full of 10 eggs and 10 wool. So see that wool that's going to the storehouse now gets thrown on the road. So we're wasting products and wasting time. So I need to go over here and make sure that, could be they changed this something again that broke the script. Or I got to make sure it's turned on. What we can do is go over here to installed user scripts. The script is turned on here, unless I made a typo in the script. Sometimes if you change the script and you make an error in it, that will also keep it from working. I think the only thing I changed recently was just one of these numbers here. Usually if you make a mistake, there'll be some kind of a, like just for example, if I put XXX here, yeah, it puts that little yellow yield sign over there telling you have an error. So it's like I don't have any errors. And if we look here at installed, like I said, it's already turned on. I don't know why it's not running. Manually, let me sell some things, and I'll probably just refresh the page, and maybe the script will start working again. If you run out of gas, of course, it can't sell anything. If you don't have a truck, it can't sell anything. But right now, it should be selling. Manually sell peppermint. Oh, there, it just started. I didn't do that. It did it. So I think it's my computer running slow again, or these frames per second. Something was slow, and it just didn't run. Or maybe the truck was gone delivering another product. Maybe that's one thing. If your truck's gone, obviously you can't sell anything, and that's when it's good to have 2 trucks. But right now, I think selling everything one at a time is plenty good. So it looks like probably he picked the most expensive product to sell, which that means the script is pretty smart. In other words, instead of selling the peppermint, it's sold the wool. And see, now the truck's back, so it's going to sell the, is it selling, let's find out. What's selling peppermint? I think eggs would have actually made more money. So I don't know why it didn't sell the eggs. So maybe I was wrong about it being smart enough to pick. It actually might just be the order you have your products listed in the script. It may just be running down that list and the first one it finds. So you might want to move your more expensive products to the top of that list. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is total speculation, just being a programmer. Because they're probably looping through this list here. So like, for example, if we took the wool and moved it up here above the peppermint, then it would probably sell faster. But it did sell the wool. But anyway, that was just an idea. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, so the 3 products just sold. So that just brought in $18,000 for the eggs, whatever it is, $40,000 for the wool, and $8,000 for the peppermint. So all of a sudden, boom, just selling those 3 things, I got a lot of money again. And pretty soon there's going to be 10 peppermints there, and I'll get another $8,000. So it's time to build a refinery. So this is my design. The refinery is going to go where a tree stump is. So we are going to have to get rid of the tree stump above the left pond. I think, is there anything else I need to build? See, I have here Refinery 1 and Refinery 2. I know it's kind of small print. Power Plant 1, this will be Power Plant 2. For the power plants need, I'll need the, actually Power Plant 2 has to be by water. So maybe right there, by the water pump. Where was our wood mills there? He'll get his power from actually either one of those. This actually could be either place. No, it needs to be closer to the refinery. I think I still have my power plant wrong. I need it to give 3 energies. Okay, this power will give 3 to each refinery, but this one needs to give 3 to the second refinery that needs to make gas. So let me look at this for a second. Okay, my bad. That's really should have been power 3 question mark if I need one. So my first power will be here. My second will be here. That'll basically keep all my refineries running constantly. And then my wood mill will be here, and it will get its power from here and its water from here. The 2 pumps around the pond here will give, your power plant has to be built next to a pump. And then if I need a 3rd power plant for whatever reason, I could build it over here. So my goal is to put the refinery where the tree above the left lake is. So here's my lake. So I got to get rid of that stump, and I'm going to have a paved road over here. So the paved road is going to cost me $10,000, so I might as well do that first. The whole refinery complex costs roughly $50,000 to $60,000. I think I computed it once in another video as say 55 or 51. But then you have to do things like roads and get rid of marshes and things like that. So that's why I sometimes say more like 60. Because of the other things you have to do to get the refinery. And by that, I mean the refinery itself is only 15, but I'm talking about by the time you build a few wind turbines, you build your water facility, you build your worker house, all those little things that are needed all add up to between 50 and 60,000. So we go, I forgot what I was doing. Road, paved road. I think you can only build a paved road immediately next to an existing road. And if it shows that it's not available, then what you do is you just build a dirt road and then you upgrade it to a paved road. While they're doing that, I'm going to blow away this tree stump here. Now we have a paved road, so I should be able to put my refinery here. More money just came in, which is always good. Here's our refinery. It's going to take 5 woods. Unfortunately, it also costs $200 a minute to run. So over here, this number 400 is the total of all my workers right now. And so as soon as I turn the refinery on, see, that's going to jump up to 600, which Again, that's per minute. So you got to keep making these new products here to pay for your workers, or else they're all going to just quit working, go on strike, or go home and go to sleep, basically. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a refinery. So now we shouldn't run out of gas unless we sell our products faster than we make the gas, basically. We click on the refinery, and let's look over here at our fuel storage tank again. You've got 5 crude oil, and we already have 12 gas. Your fuel storage tank holds up to 40 items. So what's going to happen is you're going to take the crude oil out of here. You're going to refine it in the first refining process, which makes petroleum. That barrel of petroleum will go all the way back over here to this tank. And then you're going to switch your refinery after you make 1 or 2 or 3 petroleum. You're going to turn it over to make gasoline, and it will take the petroleum out of your fuel storage tank, and it will make gasoline cans out of them, and then it will deliver the gasoline cans back to the fuel storage tank. Okay, so let's start it. We hit double click on it. A lot of the items, by the way, when you build them, they'll automatically start, but I guess this is called crafting. When you have more than one item that it can make, it does not automatically start because it doesn't know which one you want to do. So here we're going to say make petroleum. And you can see the ingredients are 2 barrels of crude oil, 1 water, and 2 energy. And that's why we made the water and the energy earlier. So now you'll see out of the warehouse here, the little refinery man or woman, whatever she is, will come over here and grab the waters and the energy from the warehouse. So again, we need 1 water drum and 2 energy to make petroleum. And making gasoline takes 6 energy. Okay, so a lot more. That's why you usually want a little more energy than water in your warehouse. So the other thing I should add to my design is I really want the fuel tank closer over here. So eventually when I get more things built over here, I want to throw in the fuel tank as well. Let's go back to my design. I think this would be a good spot for it, anywhere on this little border over here, because I kind of want it basically facing or as close to the refineries as possible so that the workers don't have to travel like halfway across the board to use it. We might keep this fuel storage as well as just the extra backup in case this one fills up. But I think that's where we're going to put it. But that will be, maybe an hour or 2 from now before I get there. So now that I have 1 refinery here, I can build another refinery without having a power plant. Okay, it's your choice really the order to build this, but if I have 2 refineries, I can have one of them constantly making petroleum and one constantly making gas, even if they have to go fetch the water and the batteries or the energies from the warehouse. Okay, so at some point, probably when I build the second refinery, I should also build warehouse number 2 here. It doesn't exactly matter, but it's just easier to have 2 warehouses. That way you don't have to worry quite as much about one of them getting full of all of one product versus the other. With my 40,000 right now, I have a choice of building another sheet pan or go ahead and working on my refinery. And it's kind of a tough one. Remember earlier I said I'd kind of spend my money half and half back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and I've been working on this lately, so now I'm going to build 1 more sheet pan over here. Oop, but I forgot, it's 40,000, not 30,000. So I don't want to dump all my money yet, so I'm going to have to wait on at least 1 more sale before I do that. My refinery has not yet produced petroleum, which is a little sad, but half of it has to do with the distance he has to walk. And there's no road here either connecting. So that means I really should get my storage pump over here, sooner than later, but it all depends on my money balance over here. So that's why I really want to get more money coming in by having another sheet pan. Okay, the refinery just started making its product. It's got all its ingredients, and when it starts refining, you see the little smokestack up there will start pumping out smoke. And by the way, that is pollution. So you don't want your refinery close to your animals or to your crops because that will slow them down. Okay, I kind of blinked and it was done, and now he's delivered the petroleum over here. So you see 1 petroleum in your fuel storage tank. And now he's making the second petroleum. I don't want to make too many, usually just 2 or 3, and then I'll switch over to gas. And I just got a peppermint cell, and actually the wool's getting ready to sell, so now I'm comfortable to build my extra sheep pen. See, my balance went down. I put it here. The balance went down 40,000, but I have 6,000 left. And right now, that means I only have 10 minutes. Okay, so it's a lot. Once this number here gets up to, 600 to 1,000, you got to really watch your money because you're spending it very, very quickly. Again, having the refinery on spends an extra $200 a minute. So it's possible too, you can make enough gas for the next few minutes and then just turn off your refinery at this stage of the game. But later in the game, you'll have lots of money and you just keep both refineries running constantly. I can see my wood getting pretty low over here, so I think it's about time for another logger. I'm going to put him over here across this road. And again, that's like a temporary, might be a temporary position because I don't want him shading my crops over here in the future, but for now, it's the most economical place to put it. And actually, I said that maybe too soon. He will be shading this crop right here. So I did just slow that crop down, but that crop is a little short of water anyway. Remember, these guys peppermint needs 7 water. These are getting water from the marsh. And when I took away my tower here, that might have taken out a little water from him. So my water may be having to be carried over here to some of these guys now anyway, which maybe not have been the smartest thing. Okay, now with those extra sales that just came in, see, even though I built my sheep pen for 40,000, I've got 48 again now because more things sold. So over here, I'm going to start planning my second refinery, which my memory will go here because we have a power plant between the 2 refineries. So I'm going to have to destroy this, which costs 15,000, and then I have to put a paved road there, which is 10,000. So that's probably all I can do now. I have to wait for another sale to actually build that refinery. Oh, I said something wrong a while ago. This was a tree I put here. All these others are peppermint. Peppermint only needs, they're getting enough water. They only need 3 water. So I was just thinking all of them needed more water, but it was only this little tree farm here. That's the only one that's water's being carried to him. When the crops are small, they kind of look alike because they're green and you just see those little 9 squares. And unless you make your screen bigger, it's really hard to distinguish one from the other. Okay, we got my paved road built. I have 22,000, so I can go ahead and build refinery 2 here, which should cost 15. Okay, I'm back with a little potential issue over here. I noticed that it actually took a lot of time editing that video, but I just want to summarize again that what we covered in this video was right here was phase 2, and I decided to go ahead and put phase 3 in there. So we basically got to the point where we can create our own gasoline, and I actually put 2 refineries on there. So at the beginning, you're going to have to maybe have a few extra wind turbines and manually flip back and forth, or make petroleum with one and gas with the other, and make sure it'll be slow because you won't have enough energy or batteries. And then what we're going to do in the next video is beef up your refinery facility, which includes your power plants, your water pumps, and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be a lot shorter video. And then eventually, of course, the go to bed phase. That's where I actually stopped this game. I've been playing the same game now up to phase 5 for like 2 weeks. I'm not even playing it really. I just log on, I collect my rewards, and I get off. So I'm going to have to now start doing these upgrades so I can do the rest of this video series for you. So again, this is phases 2 and 3 in this video, and come back soon, and hopefully we'll have the phase 4 video available. And thanks for watching. I hope it's been useful, especially for beginners. Hope you enjoy playing Townstar. We'll see you on the next video.